Thank you very much to our panelists. And in the interest of time, I think I'll jump straight to the questions. And my first question is addressed to you, Mr. Dean. As I said before, you're responsible for shaping the minds of countless mining engineers and geologists here in Rwanda. So could you tell us how the School of Mining and Geology contributes to bridging the skills gap in the mining industry by ensuring a steady flow of well-prepared workers?
Thank you very much. I have a problem to give a good picture just after lunch, but I'll try to go focus. One is because the school itself was creating by the government of Rwanda, particular for that purpose, bridging the skill gap in the mining sector. When we start the journey, it was in 2013. I was alone with very few staff recruited to create the School of Mining and Geology. I don't know if many people know that at the academia, to create a new school, have a long journey to do. First is you needed to design the curriculum. Secondly, you need to get that curriculum approved. Thirdly, that curriculum needed to be approved by the ministry in charge for accreditation. Then all this journey took around 2 years. In 2015, I don't want to go in detail, we opened the school. At that particular time, we recruit students from secondary school because we want to create a school at the international standard, link with environmental concern, link with everything, but from Russia, and with very limited academic staff in place. Then we send our few team creating a board to be educated, and at particular time, we recruit part-time lecturer. I can say from 2015 today, the journey for skills, education in mining, for academia perspective is now actually completed. Because first year I was alone, second year we were 5, now we are 23 after some years. With, at the beginning, PhD holders, I was alone, other was bachelor degrees, and now we have 5 PhD holders, a professor, and the team is actually constituted. And we do no longer rely to visiting lecturer, because visiting lecturer was served us a lot from the beginning. And I needed to thank my colleague from around the world who come to support the construction of the school, because we have professor from Australia coming to teach here, professor from UK coming to teach here, professor from Belgium coming to teach. But now we are a team of Rwandese coming from abroad, of course, but we are a Rwandese team of academia. That's one. That's saying that we are able now to teach high standard mining program as Rwandese, to teach Rwandese. For us, it was one first victory we can consider. Secondly, now, we needed to be adapted by the mining industry. We needed to send our team in the society we are living in, and I can, without making too much error, rely on feedback from industry I receive. Many people told me, including a captain from industry, that our graduates are working well. Even today, I was with someone from East who is probably in the room telling, your young people are good, they are working well. For me, that is something to reply to your answer. We are working hard, and we are still in progress, but at the level we are in Rwanda, captain from industry can rely on geologists and mining engineers trained locally at the standard of international standard. Of course, we know that we still need to progress. The program we opened with was mining engineering and applied geology program. Actually, in Rwanda, the only one program of geologists is it in the School of Mining at the University of Rwanda. But there is a program of mining engineering at EPRC, which is also good, and we have a program for mining engineering at the University of Rwanda. Now we are planning to go and answer the question we found in the mining industry. One of them was limited skill in metallurgy. Very, very limited skill and non-professional training. We are now working on creating a bachelor degree. Since last year, it's a long journey. Those who know academia, it takes a long time to get accredited program. We started now the curriculum design is completed. We send from partners around the world to review our first draft. When the review will come, the college will adopt it. When the college adopts the first, we go to Senate of university, need to adopt, then go to HEC for evaluation and get the accreditation. It takes some time, but we are on that journey. We are also planning to answer the market question and in creating a master's program on applied geology in mineral exploration. Also, the process is ongoing. These two programs are those who are in pipeline, but we have other programs still in pipeline, depending on the industry demand. So for me, the University of Rwanda, we are working with the mining industry because our mining sector are very close to the university. Our students go for internship. Our students do professional internship. And our academic staff work with the students for final year project, answering questions from mining industry. Actually, since the creation, I told you in 2015, our first graduate in 2019, the first batch, it was a big promotion, 102. But since then, the second year it was 79, the third year was 34, then 52, recently we graduated 44, around 311 graduates from mining industry are already in the market, and they are still continue to come in. We do not expect to complete skill gap totally, but if I compare from the time I come and create an association with my colleague Leonidas and a few who are still here, Evode, probably we were 44 geologists in this country, and most of them was above 60. I was among the youngest at that time. So now we have a good skill ready to serve the community. So in education perspective, we are in good. Challenge will still be there, but we are bridging the gap.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dean. It sounds like it was a very challenging journey, but you saw the gap of skills and you actually took the step to try and bridge that. And we thank you for all the efforts and all the energy you put into it. So now it seems like you held your end of the bargain. So I have to now turn to the employer. And if you allow me to ask you, Mr. James, could you share with us Nyakabingo's success story on employment welfare promotion, focusing mainly on gender mainstreaming, early childhood development, payment structures, as well as insurance coverage for workers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to invite all to come tomorrow to visit Nyakabingo mine, Trinity. I can say it is a fantastic mine. If you miss to come to Nyakabingo tomorrow, don't ask. And also, I am happy to sit in front of my bosses and the CEO of Rwanda Mining Board, because mostly my job is underground. It is not so easy, James. I want to tell you what is going on to Nyakabingo now. According to the development and engaging the people, or the people, the miners we are working with, and the community, I can say it is almost 100%. We are still have a journey, but we are in the way to achieve it. Since 2022, Nyakabingo, you have got a very big change because of the investment. In that time, I was getting almost 29 tons, but now we are achieving every month 100 tons plus. It is now 7 months we are getting 100 tons. That is a fantastic job we are doing at Nyakabingo. We have achieved a lot of things because of the investors you have now. They are helping us a lot according to the equipment. They are giving us equipment, trainings. Everything we are achieving, it is because of the investors we have. And I appreciate my country to bring the good investors, and we need more like them as a Trinity Group or Trinity Metals. Let's go to the engagement of our miners and community at large. We are paying our miners on time. We are getting almost 1.2 million every month, USA dollars. But from that, our miners, they are getting 0.5 million every month. It is because you see even the community there, they are happy. If you come to visit us tomorrow, you are going to see the changes. Our miners, we are paying them all insurance. They are paying RSSB, they are paying Ejo Heza, everything, according to our law, we are paying it. And the chance you have, it is an international company. It is not a company like the company we have here in the country. We have many companies, but Nyakabingo, Trinity Nyakabingo is better because of the skills we have now. To the community, how we are achieving a community, the system we are using, if you want to achieve community and you stop the illegal miners in the area, you make a relationship with the local leaders from Mudugudu level to the sector. We work with opinion leaders, police, all the people that are surrounding the mine. We work with them. It is what we are succeeding there. We are working together. There is one thing that happened there. Last 3 months was having illegal miners in Nyakabingo. Fight with our asset protection every night. But what I see, what happened to Nyakabingo, I see what I can solve this problem. What I did, I go house to house for the people. I discuss with the local leaders, then I start to engage them. Now, where we are now, the people, they are security of the mine. I am not only engaging the men or the miners, even the ladies of the illegal miners. When you go to the house, the biggest problem of creating illegal miners in our country, people surrounding the mine, the younger boys and girls, they don't have a chance to go to school because they born there as in the mining areas. They're starting to get money, small money. They refuse to go to school. What I did in Nyakabingo mine, we start putting the younger girls and boys to school. We pay them school fees. It is now 10 years. Some of them, they are universities. It is why now in Nyakabingo we are achieving our goals. If you don't do that, forget to get production. Make safety first. Even the people surrounding the concession is your safety. If you don't keep them well, you are going to create the enemies for nothing. It is how you see Nyakabingo is achieving. Now, the ladies for illegal miners. I think tomorrow we are going to meet some of them. They have cooperatives. The company now is supporting them. And even our miners, they are mobilized the way they are supporting each other. We give them the cooperatives. We are giving them the cows, goats, chickens, everything they have. We are going to see it tomorrow. And imagine, we are busy building the bus station. It's going to cost us around 300 million. But opinion leaders and the miners, already they have contributed almost 70. And I appreciate our CEO, Peter Gereta, is there. Thank you very much. Your contribution to our country and our community at large. Thank you very much. We appreciate what you are doing. And continue. And as you know, James, I like development. I can't work in some places, then I see the people, they don't develop it. I think it is because I born in the villages. I know how the villages is. I am not a stay-born. I am in the city almost 30 years, but I'm from the villages. That is helping me to help my friends in the villages. If I have time, you can ask me questions. I think even you can leave, then tomorrow you can see physically. Thank you.
Definitely, yes. There will be a time for questions from the audience. But I have to say that I like, you've shared so much insight, including how you've integrated illegal miners and turned them into valuable asset for the company. And that's something that is very impressive, if you ask me. But one thing that stood out for me is when you say that you make sure to pay workers on time. I say this because it builds up to my next question to Mr. André, the SG of REU. My question to you, Mr. André, as the head of the syndicate that advocates for mine workers' rights, how do you align your work with employment welfare promotion?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Before replying to your question, allow me to go back where the mining employment, it comes. When we started the union in 2014, the situation that in this industry, it was really bad because the employees who had contract, it was on the rate of 2%. But nowadays, we arrive on 34%. So as you understand, there is a good improvement, even if there are still some challenges. And you can ask us how a trade union, it can be linked with how the mining and the community, it links with the economic growth. Of course, some people, when they understand the trade union, automatically they think about the strike. They think about the increment of the salaries. They think about, so more requests from related with the employees' benefits. Yes, of course, the employees or the workers' trade union are looking for workers' rights. Immediately, you understand the wages are coming in the first. But in our philosophy, we promote the social dialogue. We promote the workers' rights. And also, we promote how the employees and employers can have the good relationship in order to increase the production and also to increase the wages they are earning. Coming back to your question, you see, we have various mining companies in our country. They employ the people. And once they employ the people, those employees are getting salaries. And when they go to salaries, those salaries are the income distributed into the various villages. And our missions at Trade Union is to work for the rights of those workers. Is it those kind of jobs are deemed decent ones? Those workers are getting the contract, the written contract. Those mining engineers who nowadays were coming into the companies are getting the fair wages. Those are the issues we advocate for with various mining companies, and we think the companies nowadays, they understand what we are advocating for. They are increasing the salaries, and others, those unskilled people, also they are starting to pay them. Recently, we negotiated, and still now, we are in negotiation for having some incentive of those mining workers, so that in our industry, we have around 81% of those employees in the industry are paid based on the production. And once they don't get the production, sometimes they go home with their hand empty. And so that as union, we approached the employers, we approached the association in order to make the advocacy. And some employers, we concluded the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement at company level, and so that they set the minimum payment, those kind of incentive at company level, and they are paying well. And of course, one of them, we are sitting together with the Trinity Metals here, and they have set the minimum payment of 3,000, even you got minerals or not. And once they got target, they are paying, basing on the production, they got bonuses. And so that as the people, as those workers are motivated, of course, they produce more. And so that as they got more production and more remuneration, those income goes to the community, and then you find into the community, those incomes are distributed well. And so that in conclusion on your questions, our work is to promote those kind of decent work, the social dialogue, fair wages, and also to request the employers to put those employees into the social security through Rwanda Social Security Board.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andre. And it's very impressive what the union is doing, helping to set minimum wage for mine workers. It's also impressive to see that contract formalization was at 2%, and the union managed to move it to 34%. That's very impressive. I understand that there's still work to do, but that's very impressive, and we thank you for that. And moving on to our next panelist, occupational health and safety is also critical to employee employment welfare. So allow me to ask you, Mr. Patrick, as you may already know, the extractive industries is one of the biggest industries here in Rwanda, and it employs over 70,000 people. So from a regulatory perspective, how best could mining operators uphold labor and occupational health and safety standards?
Thank you very much, moderator. First of all, I want to apologize that my voice is not very much clear, but I'll try my best to speak. First of all, I want to thank my colleagues, the dear panelists, for what they have already spoken about. And I think my job is going to be a little bit easier. First of all, I want to say that I'm going to talk about 3 points. One is where we are coming from. Number 2, it is why we should do what we are doing. And number 3, how we should do it, or maybe what we should be doing. And starting with where we are coming from, I want to first of all say that I want to congratulate Rwanda Mining Board, Rwanda Mining Association, and all the actors in the mining industry for this very significant milestone that they have already achieved in promoting the mining industry, and specifically what has already been done in this mining week. And when we look at the theme of this year, particularly the theme, or maybe the topic we are discussing about on this panel, the welfare of the workers, it is really impressive to discuss about it. If I could say where we're coming from, first of all, we need to remind ourselves that this is in line with the government target in the NST2, National Strategy for Transformation 2, because we have a target that we need to create at least 250 decent and productive jobs. And if you're talking about the welfare of workers, already we are in line with this national target. And the key word here is not just that we are going to create jobs, but the jobs should be decent and productive. And the welfare of workers that we are talking about here, it is already the distance of the jobs. So this is where we need to first understand from the background. And number 2, we could talk about the safety of the workers, we need to again remind ourselves that from this perspective of distance of the jobs, normally when we measure decent work, we have 10 indicators. First of all, we have that we need to create jobs. That is indicator number 1. Number 2, we need to have the jobs that are safe and healthy, and that is where safety and health comes in. That is the indicator number 2 of decent work. Number 3, it is the voice of workers at work. And number 4, it is what we call stability at work. And that is why we are going to talk about things to do with written employment contract, because we want our workers to be stable at work. And if we could issue them with written employment contract, then we are trying to create stability at work. The mining sector is no longer volatile in terms of employability. So this is very key, and again, that is the indicator of decent work. We need to look at the social security. Today, when we can have a look at the labor law, Article 19, it is very crucial that we understand what that article provides. It says that every employer, whether in informal or informal sector, workers should be in RSSB, should be in social security. And again, we need to look at what we call, this is a new concept that we call work-life balance, where we need to make sure that, again, this is again related to the working time. We need to make sure that workers are working, but they need to take care of their social part, and that is the work-life balance. So basically, this is what we need to understand when we talk about decent work. Now, in all of those indicators that I've already mentioned, measuring decent work, I want to say that safety and health is that indicator where we are performing poorly as a country, and in all sectors, mining sector included. So I wanted to bring this background so that we understand that much as we are celebrating what we have achieved, we need to understand that safety and health of workers is still an indicator where we are performing poorly in all industries in our country. So this gives us a very huge task as we go forward. And now, I want to go to the second part because maybe this could take very much time to explain where we're coming from. Now, why we should take care of the safety, welfare of the workers. This is the second point of my discussion. First of all, we need to understand that safety and health of workers, doing it is just being human. We need to be human. I believe that nobody here wants to have a company where workers are going to die, workers are going to lose parts of their bodies, workers are going to just be miserable, yet they came to our companies to have work that should take themselves out of the poverty, take care of their families. So I think we need to be, first of all, human and promote safety and health for workers. Number two, we need to understand that by implementing safety and health at work, it is an international and national legal obligation. I want to say that in 2022 June, in Geneva, the International Labour Organization declared safety and health at work as a universal human right. So by so doing, and I want to highlight this, when something is considered as universal human right, fundamental principle right at work, we need to understand that even if the country did not ratify that convention, and this is Convention 11155 and Convention 187, the country has got an obligation to report each and every year to that obligation. So we are just no longer doing it just because we want, or maybe because we want to be human, but we want to again do it because it is a universal human right. Number three, we need to do it, and this is again what I'm going to talk about here. It is in line with the video that we've watched earlier on. They said safety and health is just not a cost, it is a good investment. So we need to do this because it is a good investment. So first of all, we need to protect our workers, and for those who have the knowledge about the human resource, they understand very clearly that the greatest companies are the companies that understand that the human resource are the greatest asset of their companies. So this is where we are coming from when we say that this is a good investment, because we don't want to lose these good employees that we've already trained. We don't want to lose these experienced employees. If the dean already said that they have invested a lot, we need to take care of these very experienced and skilled people. But again, we need to understand that by so doing, there is what we call what we call lost working days. When workers have got the accidents and they're going to be out of work for some days. This is what in labor we call lost working days, and we need to cost, or maybe understand the cost implication about these lost days. There is absenteeism that comes with the ill health of workers, injured workers. This is again very important to understand as we talk about safety and how it is a good investment. But again, there is something that has been in pipeline, the discussion. When you look at the policy of safety and health that was adopted by the cabinet in 2014, there is this principle that we call polluter pays principle, where normally this has been under discussion, where we need to understand that in some countries, you pay social security in terms of the damage that you have caused. Of course, it's not yet the case today, but going forward, probably we need to prevent so that we are not in that situation. I want to finish with what we need to do. First of all, when you look at the national policy and the national strategy of 2019, there are 3 phases that we need to understand. The country itself set 3 phases. The phase number 1, as we promote safety and health at work, it is to establish the clear policy and legal framework. And I think I can say that for that phase number 1, we are up there as a country. We have the necessary legal instruments. The phase number 2, it is enforcement. We need to be compliant. And this is where I want to urge you, all the employers who are here, that we need to be compliant with the laws. Number 3, and this is the phase number 3, we need to have the safety and health culture, what we call culture. That is when you have graduated from enforcement and safety has become a culture. Excuse me. This is where I want to be. If you are talking about sustainable mining, we need to shift from just enforcement to safety culture. And that is where Rwanda Mining Board, the Ministry of Labor, and everybody in the government are going to have an easy job. We are no longer going to need to have a big number of inspectors, because employers themselves are able to inspect themselves, because there is that ownership, because workers have ownership, because the entire organization have got the culture. So I think as we talk about the sustainability, those are the 3 phases that we need to go through, but unfortunately, we are still in the enforcement phase, but we are very much optimistic that soon, not later, we are going to be in that phase where we are going to be in a safety culture. Now, for us to have the safety culture, when you look at our legal framework, for example, in Article 81 of the labor law, it talks about the safety culture. It says that employers should have what we call occupational safety and health management system. And the management system is just summarized in 4 stages. It is the planning, actually we call it PDCA, Plan, Do, Check, Act. And we are still lagging behind, or maybe we are still falling short when it comes to planning. We are acting when we did not plan. We are implementing what we did not plan. Because the law says and the policy says that every employer, every mining sector, because we are in mining employers here, should have safety, first of all, conducted the annual risk assessment and eventually develop the policy that has got an implementation plan that is going to implement the policy that you've established. So I wanted to urge you, as I conclude, that if we want to have the culture, we need to have a proper planning. Safety and health should be an integral part of the business process, not something that we are going to do in an ad hoc manner. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick. You've shared so much insightful information about health and safety, and I'm sure if you had more time, you would even share even more. 2 specific things that I picked up from what you said is health and safety is not a cost, it's an investment. And I need the audience to understand this, especially the mine owners. Health and safety shouldn't be perceived as a cost of a company, should be perceived as an investment for the future. One last thing that you said is we need to protect the workforce that we worked hard to develop. It would be unfortunate to lose someone that you worked hard to train and to give the knowledge. And I think this concludes the questions I had from our panelists. But before we close the panel, I'll look to the audience and pick 1 to 2 questions. And when you ask your question, please specify the panelist you would like to address the question to. If there's people with mics at the back, they can help us to. If you have a question, please raise your hand, and then the people with the mic will come to you. Yes, I see one hand here.
Thank you so much. My name is Glorious. I'm the project manager of Better Mining in Rwanda. Better Mining is a program implemented by a UK company called RCS Global. We ensure that the upstream companies works in compliance with international and national guidelines, and that's where the community comes in. I take this opportunity to appreciate Trinity Nyakabingo as one of our clients who played a big role in community support. We used to record a lot of incidents in regards of illegal mining, which was a threat to the community surrounding Trinity Nyakabingo. But since May until today, there's no incident recorded in regards of that issue. So thanks a lot to the Trinity Metals in general and James Mudahunga, the general manager of Trinity Nyakabingo. This is really important. It is a big deal, especially for the midstream and downstream members, because they really are concerned with the compliance of upstream companies. Some of them, some of the smelters, some of the end users of minerals, they don't even know where is Rwanda or anything about this region, but they want to understand the image or to know the concept or in general how we extract materials in Rwanda. So I take this opportunity to thank you a lot for the support you give to the community around Nyakabingo, especially women, and also encourage other miners in the room to adopt this strategy that James has adopted. It is really working. As I said, since May until today, we have 0 record of incident in regards of illegal mining. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the great remarks. And I see one hand in front here, on this row.
Thank you so much. I'm Johnny Kanyanjira from Rwanda Mines Board. Just have a simple question. The previous presentees, they say that we still keep seeing the poverty prevailing around the mines. And I think that's not because it's a race-paid sector, and I am sure that mining sector pays more than the other sector, like agriculture, like industry, I don't know. But I think there's that concept, maybe which I can call misconcept, where the miners, they say that since I will keep getting more money, maybe let me use all my money today, tomorrow I'm likely to get other money or I'm likely to get paid. So my question goes to the labor union, I don't know. What are you planning to do to change that concept? Instead of seeing the owner of the bars just operating near the mine, getting richer and richer, but our miners keep, the poverty keep prevailing among those miners, which in fact makes our sector, or that concept of saying that the money from minerals are cursed, instead of making you rich, it makes you more poorer. So just, I want to share with the attendees that what are you planning to do to make sure that our miners are getting rich and well off as they are getting money. Thank you so much.
Mr. Andre, I think that question, it's a very hard one, but I believe you're the right person to answer it.
Yeah, thanks to John Kanyangira for the good question. And instead, the miners are getting much money, but are not all those miners. Some of them are getting much money, others are getting zero money because they don't get production. Of course, the first thing we plan to do is to educate, to make education on the serving culture. And also there is a new system introduced in the mining industry, which is called Ingomane. And that system of Ingomane will help us and will help them also to be paid through bank account. You see, most of those employees are paid in hand. According to our recent assessment, we find that 86% are paid in hand, those miners employed, paid based on the production. And so that once that system can be introduced in human resource management, also it will help to contribute for those miners for not spending all amount they got at the end of month or at the end of each week, and so that they get it from the bank, and so that they will go to the bank to withdraw slowly, and at the end, they will reach on the level to understand the culture of saving. Of course, it goes together with the training we conducted on the field. And the second point, it is what I have said before. For those miners who are not got the production, and they go home without any remuneration because they don't go to production. Of course, we understand it is a big challenge in the industry. And for solving that question, we have agreed, we have conducted the negotiation with the Rwanda Mining Association, as they represent the employers, and as we represent the employees, to set up a kind of a minimum incentive amount to be paid for those employees. And we came up on 1,500 Rwandan francs as a minimum amount to take it like an incentive for those workers who are not getting the production per day, instead of goes at home without any amount, any payment, and so that it will help them to have something to eat, to take care of their family, and it will contribute to reduce the poverty in those communities surrounding the mining industry. That is the 2 points on what we are doing, and soon we hope we will sign that kind of collective bargaining agreement at sectorial level, and so that it will be used. But I can use this opportunity to call upon the employers, even they can start even now. For those who are not paying something when there is no production, they can introduce it while we are waiting to sign that CBA. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andre, for that great answer. And I promised you a very interesting panel, but unfortunately time is not on our side. I still see that there's so many hands up, but the good thing about the Mine Week is not a daily event, it's a 3-day event. So please hold on to your questions. There's going to be a cocktail after this. And when you get a chance to meet with one of the panelists, you can ask them the question. But unfortunately, we're running out of time and we cannot take any more questions. But as we come to the end of this panel, I want everyone to reflect on all the information that was shared today. We were reminded that the School of Mining and Geology was built to bridge the skills gap that was present in the mining industry. We were reminded that we should not miss the trip to Nyakavingo tomorrow because there's so much in store so those who miss, it's up to them. And we're also reminded that mine owners have to pay miners on time. We were reminded that employment contracts used to be at 2%, and now they're at 34%, which is something that is very impressive and shows that the hard work and dedication that is going into developing this sector is not going to waste. Lastly, we were reminded that health and safety is not a cost, but a future investment for a company. We have to protect the workforce that we worked hard to develop. And with that, our panel discussion comes to an end, and allow me, on behalf of all the panelists here, to thank you for paying attention, and let me wish you a pleasant evening, and we hope to continue networking during the cocktail. Thank you very much.